As always, we are going to start by discussing the solution to the problem and follow it up with a post-mortem analysis. And here we go. Let me zoom in. So there is this equation, a biquadratic one. X to the power 4 minus 4x cube plus ax square plus 4x plus b is equal to 0. And it has got two pairs of equal roots. We need to find the values of a and b. Here they are. Done. Let me rewrite this equation. What is the degree, sir? Degree is 4. What will be the number of roots? Equal to the degree, sir. That means 4 roots. Let's call them as alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Done. Now, there are two pairs of equal roots. You can write gamma as alpha, so this becomes your first pair. You can write delta as beta, so that this becomes your second pair. Let me do that immediately. Done. Now from here on, we can proceed. And I am going to slightly take an unconventional approach. The conventional approach is where we use the relationships, that is sum of the roots and product of the roots funda. Here we are going to follow a slightly different approach. Just watch this. Okay, here we go. Let's say you've got roots as alpha and beta. The quadratic equation corresponding to this alpha and beta can be written as, or can be written in the form of x square plus bx plus q. Is it fair? Yes, sir, we can do that. Okay. In place of p, you have alpha plus beta. In place of q, you've got alpha beta. This is exactly what I have done. Secondly, again, if this alpha beta leads to x square plus bx plus q, then again this pair also, alpha beta, will lead you to the same quadratic equation. And you know very well that biquadratic equation is nothing but a product of two quadratic equations. Can I write it like this? Okay. Now I am going to collide these two equations. Okay. The moment I do that, this is what you get. Done. Square. You need to expand this. Let's say this is a plus b plus c to the power 2. A square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab. Do you know this or not? Okay. Don't worry. I'll explain. Here it is. Let's start. A square. That means x square and its square. X to the power 4. P square x square. Q square. 2 times of x square into px. 2 times of px into q. 2 times of q into x square. Done. Done, sir. Start with the highest power. Write x power 4. The next highest is x cube. Sir, here it is. 2px cube. Write it down. The next highest power is x square. But sir, there are two terms. P square x square and 2qx square. So take x square as common. This is what's left inside. Then you've got 2pqx. Write it down. And finally, q square. Write it down. The next best thing to do is to compare the coefficients. Okay, this is going to be fun. So let me just write this down. First of all, I'm going to start with 2p. 2p, the coefficient of x cube. 2p, and here it is negative 4. So let me write this. Plus 2p is equal to minus 4. Therefore, p is equal to negative 2. Very important result, in fact. Secondly, let's compare this coefficient of x square and coefficient of x square. Okay, you can clearly see that p square plus 2q is equal to a. Done. But sir, here we know the value of p is equal to minus 2, but what about q? Q is still unknown to us, so we cannot get to a unless we get to q first of all. Done. Fair enough. Start with this q. The coefficient of x is 2pq and here it is 4. Do the comparison. Put the value of p as negative 2 over here and find the value of q. Q works out as minus 1. Done. So put the value of q is equal to minus 1 and p is equal to minus 2 into this equation. So you have an expression like this, and a is going to be equal to plus 2. Now q square is equal to b. That's your final equation. Q square, that means minus 1 and its square. So b is equal to 1. So this is the final result. We have got to the values of both a and b. The problem, by the way, is over here. If you are just interested in the solution, this is the solution. Okay. But for all you guys who are curious about mathematics, I want to do a post-mortem of this. So let's go ahead and do it. A is equal to 2 and b is equal to 1. Let me show you the graph. A is equal to 2. Okay. This is a is equal to 2. This is how the graph is. 2, where is 2? Biquadratic, how many roots? Sir, there are going to be as many as 4 roots. You can clearly see that this W-shaped curve is cutting the x-axis at 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 4 roots. Okay, sir. Now, watch. What will this? Right now, the value of B is minus 2.4, but I have set the value of A as 2. Right? This is the answer that we got. A is 2. Here it is. Right, sir. Let me keep on increasing the value of B. Right now, it is negative 2.4. The curve profile is same. It is shifting upwards. Conclusion that you guys can make is that these 2 points, these are the 2 roots. They are converging towards each other. They are coming closer to each other at both the places, here also and here also. Watch. Keep on increasing the value of B. These 2 points, these 2 roots which are far apart are now coming closer to each other as I keep on increasing the value of B, and a time will arrive the moment I keep the value of B as 1, these 2 points become so close to each other that this x-axis becomes a tangent, and that is when you can say that here the roots are equal. That's not one root, there are 2 roots over here. That's not one root, there are 2 roots, and 2 plus 2 make 4. This was the entire idea behind the solution. I hope you have found this question to be really very intuitive, and if you appreciate my content, do like the video and do share it with your friends. Do subscribe to the channel and also press the bell icon for future updates. Thank you everyone. This is Manas Patnaik signing off. Take care.